Okay. I mean, that's a tough loss. A lot of different things came up in that game. A lot of injuries. A lot of situations that came up. And you never want to excuse a loss in this league. And this is a bottom line league. You take a bad win over a tough loss. But I'm proud to stand among the players. This is a tough team. This is a team that's resilient, that fights through a lot of situations, and I wasn't proud of the result, but I was proud of their effort today.
Jim, could you describe how your offense was limited with Burleson now having to use a tight end in your slot?
Well, I mean, that's one of the things that we work a bunch of times, being able to stay in that two tight end personnel and use Scheffler in those situations. But it's generally where we're trying to create the situation, not third down and 8 or third down and 9, but trying to create matchups. And what they were able to do in those situations is go nickel with it and play down and distance, because we really didn't have a whole lot else. It hurts when you lose a player, particularly a starter, on the very first play of the game, and that's when he got his ankle on the very first play. I was proud of our offense for being able to juggle a lot of different things and be able to go, because it was a lot of stuff that we went to today we hadn't really practiced. I mean, stuff we ran in training camp and things like that, but it wasn't part of the game plan.
How bad is Burleson's ankle? Is it like
I mean, it's an ankle, and he wasn't able to finish. He tried to go back out on the play after getting it taped up, but wasn't able to go. We'll see where that is. I mean, you never can tell.
When you were up 17-7, was it what you weren't doing or what Vic was doing that changed that game? It seemed to kind of get away from him.
Yeah, I mean, he made a couple great plays. We dialed up some blitzes, and we had free runners to him, and he got away from guys that were free to him. I mean, those are matchups that we need to win that he won. He's won a lot of those in the past. I mean, it's one of the reasons he is where he is in his career, and has done the things that he's done in his career. But I think we had at least 2 of those drives, maybe 3, that we had our hands on him on third down, and we weren't able to get him on the ground. And that's, hats off to him, and that's something that we need to do better.
On the fourth down play, 4th and 1, it looked like you used the same play, same personnel. Did you see something that on third down that you thought it would work on 4th down? What happened there?
Well, yeah, we need to be able to get a yard on 2 downs. In that case, thinking about going for the field goal there, but go for the field goal and we still need a touchdown and a 2-point. And I weighed that. It would have been, I think, a 48 or 49-yarder. Weighed that against our ability to be able to get a yard, and that's something we have to do. We went big personnel. They subbed late on the second one and went to a big defense where the first one they hadn't, and it was after our play was called. I mean, looking back, maybe timeouts are valuable right there, but maybe call timeout and getting something else after they've made that shift in personnel. But no matter who they put out there, we need to find a way to make a yard or half a yard when it comes to 2 downs right there.
You talked about Best's day today, and also why he had such an excellent day. Why didn't he touch the ball in those last 4 downs?
Well, we threw the one to him, bounced off his hands, I believe. I think that was. I had to go back. Maybe that was the drive. Maybe that was the drive before.
Yeah.
It bounced off his hands. I mean, he was doing a lot of good things for us, and we were working him a lot of different ways, whether it was running the football, passing the football, and trying to get inside. I thought that Sean did a good job of going where the defense dictated he went. There were some blitz situations at the end. There were also some coverage situations. I thought that I liked where Sean went with the football. I mean, you want to get balls to your playmakers, but you also want to not try to press it a little too much. And like I said, I thought Sean made good decisions. We just got to find a way to make a couple more plays than that.
Like last week, you gave up touchdowns this week instead of field goals in a lot of key situations. Is that one of the more disappointing things to me, that you leak big plays?
Well, I mean, the frustrating thing was that if we didn't blitz, then Vic was roaming around and ended up burning us and making plays in our zone coverage stuff. So it put more on us to blitz. We had a couple of those where we blitzed him and had good blitzes dialed up and weren't able to get him on the ground. But I think some of that again falls to where we were there. It's hard to, once you got into the red zone, it's hard to sort of play zone and take away the touchdown type plays when you got a quarterback that's scrambling around and can make you pay that way.
From the outside, it looks like you guys, I'm sure defense is a part of it, but aren't going to Calvin Johnson early in the game, and then late in the game when you need to redo. Are they taking him away more? Are you guys not looking for him enough early?
I mean, we're going to try to get the ball in our playmakers' hands, but again, you need to make the right decisions, and you can't force the ball. And there's some of those situations when the defense does roll coverage to him that you end up forcing the ball. We have to rely on our other guys. I mean, that's the way we're built, and that's the way we have to be. You do want Calvin to get the ball more, but you also don't want to press that issue if it's not prudent.
Jim, how about a little more on best day? I mean, kind of maybe lost in everything. It's just what he did. How many total yards, big pass play and whatnot.
Yeah, he did what we expected from him. He can give you that ability to take a pass where the quarterback throws it about 3 yards and go for a touchdown. Be able to get in there and work coverage things when they were rolling coverage to try to take away Calvin. It opens him up a little bit more inside, gives him a chance to make plays. I thought that we probably still had a few too many lost yardage runs. They did a good job. They had changed their technique on one as a result of what we were doing. After the second drive, they changed the way they played their defensive ends to try to take some of that run game away. But we need to find a way to score just a little bit more.
And that challenge, you threw the challenge for like your fastball.
I got a torn rotator cuff. What happened is obviously the ball had come out, and when they rolled complete, Philadelphia got up on the ball quickly, and I was running down and I was trying to get a view of it up on the jumbotron, and then I looked down and I saw that they were up on the ball, and I just tried to get it out in front of the official as quick as I could so that he could see it before they were able to snap it, because they obviously knew that it was a questionable call, so they were coming up as quick as they could to try to either force us to challenge or try to get us before we could get it. So I tried to get it out there.
I'm sorry, they flagged before too. Is that what that
I stepped on the field when I threw it, and then they just said, I guess my stride was a little too long on that, but they took it back. I mean, they'll let you sort of run down the call timeout. I mean, they want you in the coach's box, but they'll let you run down the call timeout and to get their attention on some of those plays, and I was just trying to get their attention with the flag.
Do you think it was the way you threw it that drew the flag as much as anything?
I don't know. I was trying to get it out there in front of the officials so he could.
Over with it?
The whole idea is to get it out where they can see it. And when they're up on the ball, all the officials are looking at something else. I mean, the head linesman and line judge are looking at the snap. They're not going to see me just drop it or throw it high in the air or mortar shot it or anything else. I just need to get it out there, and that's all. The referee was the closest guy to me, I thought. Probably the line judge probably would have been a little bit closer, but I just tried to put it out and tried to throw it as hard as I could to get it out there in front of him.
Coach, are all losses created equal, or is there any greater value in this week or last week where your team's fighting it towards the end?
I don't know. They don't count them any differently. It doesn't change anything whether you lose. Like I said, the bottom line in this league is win is a win and a loss is a loss, and you'll take an ugly win any day. There's lessons to be learned in all situations, whether you lose it at the end, whether you have the lead, whether you roll over a team, whether you get rolled over. You need to bounce back the next week and you need to go, but they all count the same.
Is there anything you can do inherently at the end of the first half, because it's happened in both games where you guys are going pretty well and then it just kind of fell apart? Different circumstances, game, different type of quarterbacks, the same result.
Yeah, we need to control the football at the end of the first half. Not be able to punt it back, be able to take it down and be able to control it, and not be in a situation where we're getting back in a 2-minute. Both situations, last week and this week, we're in a situation where we were thinking about defensively calling timeouts to get our offense back on the field, and both times we gave up big plays. Last week it was a screen pass. This week, I think it was the deep ball to Jackson, I believe, where they just threw it way up in the air. We need to do a better job in our back end. You know, he threw a couple balls up there for grabs. We didn't come down. We had one of them in our hands. A couple of them we didn't look so good on. We have to come down with those balls when they're just sort of putting them up there. I mean, he's going to make some plays. His quarterback's, you know, tough. It's tough duty chasing him around, and you know he's going to make some plays. But when they throw balls up, our secondary has to be able to convert.
You mentioned injuries and a tough game and 2 straight tough losses. You go on the road now for 2 games and things piling up. How do you keep this from spiraling now with the injuries and everything else starting to pile up a little bit?
And we do our job. Our job's not to worry about any of that stuff. Our job's to go out, and our job's to prepare hard, to practice hard, and to come and do our very best on Sunday. And in a professional football player's frame of mind, none of the other stuff matters. We don't worry about any of that stuff. We just go and have to play. That's my message. That's the way our team has to play.
Any insight on how you approach Stafford this week in terms of by a certain day or practice, see if he can practice? Anything you can tell us about that?
No, I don't think there's anything right now. I think the bottom line is he'll be back when he's healthy and he's ready to go, and not before then.
Is there any
Miss some
expectation?
time in the second half. Did Houston miss some time? Basher was playing the outside corner. Was he out?
Yeah, I think Chris missed 1 play, maybe 2 plays, or something like that. He rolled up on
Dennis
him.
was out too, right on 1 play.
I think it was. Yeah, I mean we had a lot of those guys going in and out. Alfonso Smith came out on a couple plays, and
You had Basher, Smith, and Phillips as part of the nickel.
yeah, CC came out on a couple. He was sometimes having a little difficulty out there. Did you have a
Just to
follow-up?
be clear, is there any expectation at all that he could play next week?
I don't know. We'll have to sort of wait and see. But like I said, I mean that'll be determined when he's healthy and can go. He won't be out. He won't be back out before that's the case.
How about Hill? How did you think he'll play today?
You know, he battled. Like I said, there were a lot of situations that came up that we sort of had to go to our training camp type preparation because where we were, offensive personnel wise. But I mean, those matchups are still ones that we like. Sean battled. I had a couple picks. You never want to get picks, but I thought he was being aggressive and he was putting the ball in good spots. I'm sure he's disappointed with the last drive to go 4 and out on that last one. But Sean battled, took a lot of hits, probably took too many hits. We need to do a better job of protecting our quarterbacks. Particularly versus 4-man rush. I thought we did a decent job battling versus their blitz packages, but 4-man rush we got hit a couple times, but he kept getting up and gave us a chance at the end.
Last question.
DeAndre, was he close to playing?
What's that?
DeAndre today?
Yeah, I mean he's closer. Was able to get back on the practice field, so hopefully we can see where he is this week, and we look forward to getting him back.
It wasn't a pregame workout though that determined it.
No.
I just want to be clear on that last drive. Those 4, they were all 4 passes. You had a minute 50 left. I think you still had a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't seem to be any reason you couldn't run the ball if you wanted to run it, right? Did you make it? Were they stopping you there? Or?
No, I mean we could have. Just a little different situation. We had moved on the previous drive and moved the ball pretty well. If you run it, you're talking probably 20 seconds, 16 to 20 seconds. That's going to be burned, and I like where we were, just trying to put the ball into our playmakers' hands. But it wasn't out of the equation. I mean, a minute and 50 in a timeout. I would have hoped to save the timeout for a field goal. And not have to waste anything on a spike play or anything like that. But it turned out that wasn't even part of the issue because we weren't able to pick up the first down.
Sorry.
Okay.